All right, we just finished looking at two-dimensional figures, squares, rectangles, triangles, trapezoids, circles. Now we're going to look at 3D figures. Whoa, 3D. I'm not taping this in 3D. It will not pop out of the screen at you. But we are looking at 3 dimensions. And we're going to look at the volume of that 3-dimensional figure. So we're looking at the stuff inside, not the stuff on the outside, not like Corrugated Box Company. We're not making boxes. But we're going to look at what's inside. How much stuff could you fit inside of the shape? We're going to start with the volume of a rectangular prism. Volume of a rectangular prism. And we're going to start by looking just at a rectangle, and we're going to develop a formula. We're going to put a formula together. So let's go ahead. We're going to start with some dimensions. Let's go ahead and say this is 2, inches, and this is 6 inches there. If I wanted to find the area, of that rectangle, I would do the base times the height, 6 times 2. We'd have an area of 12 square inches. Okay, that's not so bad. Now let's project that into 3 dimensions. So in 3D, in 3 dimensions, we're not looking at how many squares can we fit inside, right? For this one, we were looking at how many squares you could get in there. We're looking at how many cubes can you fit in this shape. And so really, it's the same amount. If I have the right number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess I'm missing 1. There we go. It's the same amount. It's just that now we're looking at those cubes. And so we've got 12 cubes that we can fit in that shape. Now let's just keep it going here. If we extend it a little bit further, now we have 2 layers. We've got 2 layers here. So this one had a volume of 12. The next, if we keep that extension here, if we keep that going, we'd have 12 more. We'd have 12 more cubes. So we've got 12 more. I'm going to go ahead and put 3 there, but we've got 12 more for that next one. Extend it even further. Now we have another layer. And we can keep that going. We can keep that extension going. We would have 12 more cubes. And so we've got another 12 cubic inches. We've got another 12 cubes. And if we add all those together, we have our total volume. Well, if we're adding the same number over and over again, there's an easier way to do that. We just do 12 times 3. We get our final answer then of 36 cubic inches. 36 cubic inches. And so the general formula, if we're trying to find the volume of any rectangular prism at all, we start with our basic rectangle. And we can find the area of any rectangle by doing base times height. And then we say, well, how many layers are being stacked back to back to back to back? I had 1, 2, 3 layers. I had 3 layers back to back to back to back. And so 12 times 3 layers gave me my total volume of 36 cubic inches. And the way we're going to write that for our formula then is we're going to say we've got that basic shape, that basic rectangle, times big H. It's big H because it's the height of the prism, but it's kind of hard with H and the H, but that's the formula. And you will see in the back of your book, if you open to the very back cover of your book, you'll see some formulas, and you'll see big B times big H. B. And B is only good if you know what the big B and the big H stand for. I'm going to take it a little bit further and say, well, let's not use B. We're going to use base times height times the height of the whole prism. Okay, take a look at this problem. Give it a try. Pause it. See if you can find the volume of that rectangular prism, and please label your answer. All right, I'm going to assume that you paused it. I'm going to assume that you tried it on your own. And if we want to find the volume of this rectangular prism, I guess I'll just put the answer, and I'll do another video for how to do it. The volume of this rectangular prism is going to be 30 cubic centimeters. And if you didn't get the right answer, if you didn't see that answer as yours, make sure that you click the link or look at the videos below to see how to do it. Triangular prisms. All right, so now we're moving into triangles here. Same general idea. If we have some numbers, we'll start with our triangle. Let's say the base is 2 and the height is 6. I'm not going to use labels for this one just because, but 2 and 6. We can find the area of that triangle. Base times height divided by 2. 2 times 6 divided by 2. We're going to have an area of 6. And if we project that into 3D, we have one layer of 6 cubes. We can fit 6 cubes in that triangle, and we've got one layer of those 6 cubes. And so we've just got one of them. And if we keep that going, we'll project it into two layers, another layer. We have another 6. And if we keep that going, if we project it into 3, we've got another layer. So we've got 6, 6, and 6. And if you're biblical, I apologize. But we've got 6, 6, and 6 for this one, which again, rather than adding them all together, just do times 3 and get the exact same result. And so we're going to do the same type of thing. We're developing this formula in the very same way. All our prism formulas are going to be built in a very similar fashion. We're going to start with our basic shape. The basic shape, the triangle. And we can find the area of that triangle by doing base times height divided by 2. That's that big B, that basic shape. And then we project it into 3D and we say, well, how many layers are there? Well, in this case, there was 3 layers, so our volume was 18. But we're going to multiply times however many layers there are. And so if there's more than one layer, we do times 3. If there's only one layer, you just do times 1. But you multiply by how many triangles are being stacked back to back to back to back. All right, let's give that a try. So you've got one here. Why don't you go ahead and pause it. Why don't you give it a try on your own and see what you come up with. I'm going to assume that you paused it, so I'm going to assume that you tried it on your own. Again, I'm just going to put the answer, and I want you to see if you get the same result as me. Make sure you have your answer labeled. So if you didn't, pause it quick, label it. You should have 105 cubic feet. You put 105 cubic feet in that triangular prism. Okay. Moving right along, again, watch the video, watch the link, look below in the Google form to find the video that looks like this to figure out how to do it if you got the wrong answer. Cylinders, last one here that we're going to look at. Cylinders, same idea, and this one isn't quite as pretty. It doesn't animate as well. But if we want to find the volume of the cylinder, we look at the circle, the basic shape, a circle. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use, I don't know, we'll go with 1. There we go. Kind of looks like a Pac-Man or a smiley face, but 1. We'll go with, I don't know, 1 centimeter. If I want to find the volume, if I want to find the area of that circle, okay, I'm going to start with that basic shape. Area of the circle is pi r squared. So the radius is 1. So 1 squared is 1 times pi is 3.14, give or take. And so we've got the area of one circle, the area of one coin. If you think about a whole stack of a whole bunch of coins on top of each other, the volume of one coin would be 3.14. And if we add another coin underneath, and this is where my animation kind of stopped, we'd have another coin. So we have another 3.14 for that other coin, 0.14. And we could keep going. You get the idea. We could add another coin underneath that. And we'd have another 3.14. 3.14. You'll notice that all these prism formulas kind of are developed in the exact same way. We start with that main shape, a circle in this case. And we say the area of a circle is pi times the radius squared, pi r squared. And then we say, well, how many coins are stacked on top of each other? Well, in this case, there was 3. You'd have, 9.42 if you add all those together times 3. And we say, well, times the height, times how many layers are there stacked back to back to back or on top of each other. And that's how we get our formula for a cylinder. So all of these are the area of the basic shape, area of the circle, area of the triangle, area of the rectangle, times big H. And big H is how many layers are there. Last one, pause it, give it a try on your own, and see what you come up with. All right, I'm going to assume that you paused it. I'm going to assume that you tried it on your own. Again, we are going to use 3.14, and it says round to the nearest tenth in this one. And so if you didn't round to the nearest tenth, make sure you do that quick. Make sure you label. The volume of this one should be 351.7 centimeters cubed. Okay, not squared, because now we're looking at cubes, and that's about with your rounding for pi. Okay, again, if you didn't get any of these right, make sure that you are watching the videos, checking your answers, and then go ahead and take the form.